Hey sports fans, welcome to the Talking Guy Report. We're going into week 15. Oh my god, this season just flew by. Alright, so first off I want to get this out of the way really quick. Hopefully I can get this video up before the Thursday night game starts, but it is pretty late now. I just got off work. So, then we have a Saturday night game this week for the first time this year. The Jets versus Dallas. Not hard to pick this one. Jets, Jets, all the way. Alright, Dallas is obviously still not very good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and run through the Sunday games that just look to me like they're not even worth talking about. And I'll give you my picks for those. Tennessee at New England. Rob Gronkowski's back. New England wins. Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City win easily. I've said it a million times. Baltimore's not a very good team. They're probably the worst team in the league this year. I'm sure they'll bounce back. Cleveland at Seattle. Seattle is a scary team to play. We're going to talk a little bit more about scary teams later. But Cleveland is not. Johnny Manziel. Sorry, buddy. Ain't going to work out. You're losing this game. Cincinnati at San Francisco. Cincinnati easy win. San Francisco is not a very good team. Alright. Sorry guys, I'm all hocked up on energy drinks right now. Gotta get going, you know. Alright, so Chicago at Minnesota, the first of the decent games to watch. I do think Chicago's going to play really hard, but Minnesota has good pass defense and they'll shut down Jay Cutler. So, sorry guys, Matt Forte's not going to be able to do it all for you. You're going to lose this one. Sorry. Atlanta at Jacksonville. Atlanta's already lost 6 games in a row. I do think on paper they're a better team than Jacksonville, but Blake Bortles is going to have a good game against his defense. I don't expect them to get much going, especially coming off a 0-point game against Carolina last week. Oh my god. So, Atlanta's going to lose this one. Houston at Indianapolis. This might be one of the best games to watch this week because it's going to have some big playoff implications in it. And I think J.J. Watt's going to have a bunch of sacks in this game. Give it up for the Texans. They're going to take this one. Alright, then you got Buffalo at Washington. Washington's done pretty well. They're kind of impressive right now, right? For that division to take it. But, although I do think it's going to be a great game, Buffalo's going to play real hard and they're going to win. Sorry, Redskins fans. Shout out to Cassie. I know you're going to be watching this. But y'all going to lose. Next game, Green Bay at Oakland. I don't know if I fully believe in Green Bay yet. They've won a couple games, the last 2 games. But I feel like that Detroit game was pretty close. Hopefully they have their confidence back. I do like Green Bay a lot, especially Aaron Rodgers. He's a great player, but their receivers cannot catch worth a ding-dong. It's crazy. But Oakland's pass defense is pretty crappy, so look for Aaron Rodgers to have a big bounce back in his receivers as well. I think Green Bay wins this one. Denver at Pittsburgh. This is going to be fun to watch. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this one. 2 big wins in a row, and I also, bold prediction moment, think they're going to win out the rest of the season and take the playoff spot from the Jets. Okay, if you want to quote me on that, you can go for it. Alright, next game is Miami at San Diego. This is only an interesting game because they both suck. Alright, I think part of my biggest problem with picks last week was I just took all the easy games. I didn't do a lot of analysis. I just kind of looked at the games, picked the games. That was it. I was done. I looked at this one a lot just because they're both so bad. I think San Diego at home, they're gonna fight pretty hard for their fans, and I think they're gonna win this one. Arizona at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's been playing really well. Obviously, they were the first team to beat New England this year. That's pretty impressive. Sam Bradford's looking good. And although I do think it's a close game, Arizona, they're going to shut them down. Detroit at New Orleans. Detroit's obviously, you know, they kind of surged there for a little bit, 3-game win streak. But they lost 2 in a row. New Orleans, obviously, they're looking a little bit better in the back half of the season. But again, they're not a playoff team. But I think New Orleans at home, they come to play. They just like in San Diego. They really want to win for their fans, but I think New Orleans is more capable of winning for their fans. Look for New Orleans to win this one, and I think that they'll win pretty big. I got this one going 20 Detroit to 41 New Orleans. That is a 21-point win, 61 total points if you're doing a pick 'em. All right, I would like to talk about real quick is really what's been kind of most impressive me lately. I'm gonna go through the top 3 teams as far as like how scary they are to play in each division, in each conference. I mean, so the top 3 in each conference. You don't want to play these people. I mean right now too. I don't mean in the playoffs, regular season. My picks might kind of surprise you, so let's go ahead and go over real quick. Number 3 in the NFC, I've got the Arizona Cardinals. They're a scary team. They play hard and they're so poised. You really don't know what you're going to get from this team because they're going to give you everything. They go down big. They're not even going to show it on their faces. They're just going to get out there and they're going to get it done, and they're going to come back and at least get close, if not beat you. All right, number 3, I'm going to give it to Kansas City. I was going to give this to Cincinnati, but without Andy Dalton, they're not scary at all. Kansas City's looking good. I think they're going to grab that first wild card spot, and I would be scared of them in the playoffs as well because you don't know how well they're going to play. They're a pretty impressive team behind Andy Reid. All right, number 2 in the NFC. Probably what everybody expects you to pick number 1. But I'm not going to do it. That's too easy. Carolina, the second scariest team in the NFC. And this is why. Carolina has already clinched playoff spot. They've already clinched the first round bye. The last thing they have to clinch is home field advantage. I do think that they're going to try and they're going to win. Like I said, they're going to win. They'll win this week against the Giants, which is it's going to be a weird situation for that division again, because there's a 3-way tie between the Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington Redskins. I got all 3 of them losing this week, which is going to keep them in the same position. But I don't think Carolina is nearly as scary because I don't think that they're going to be playing 100%, even though they do go out there to win every game. They got Jonathan Stewart out, so I do expect them to win this game. But if you're a team like Tampa Bay going into the last game of the season, might be a good opportunity for them to win one, or for Carolina to lose one. Now the team that I do think is the scariest in the NFC is Seattle. Right, they are just looking really tough right now. Every game they go into, they're giving 110%. Doesn't matter who's banged up. Rawls went out early in the last game, and they still just destroyed with it. I mean, Doug Baldwin got a bunch of touchdowns. They got Lockett involved, so Seattle is a scary team right now, and that's on offense. Legion of Boom is dead. They're still good, but they're not the Legion of Boom like they used to be. All right, number 2, scariest team in the AFC. Again, a lot of people might think that this is number 1. I disagree. New England. All right, they lost LeGarrette Blount last week. And obviously they showed their weaknesses, losing 2 in a row. One of them to a Philadelphia Eagles team that hasn't shown me much this year. Lost some pretty easy games. So New England's showing its weak spots, but I do think they're still a scary team. Nobody wants to play New England ever. Doesn't matter if it's playoff, regular season, or preseason. You don't want to play New England. So they're a very scary team, but I think the number 1 spot, scariest team in the AFC, goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are going for a run. Ben Roethlisberger is having a great time putting up some fantasy points that could make your mama blush. It's ridiculous. They're doing things, same with Cam Newton. He's throwing to receivers that you've never even heard of before. And they're doing big, like they're going big yards. They're getting 3 touchdown games. It's crazy. All right, so Pittsburgh is the scariest team in the AFC. Seattle's the scariest team in the NFC. I don't think either one of these teams will make the Super Bowl, but right now they are the scariest teams in the league, and I think they'll both win every single game for the rest of the season. And I think both of them make the playoffs. Again, I think it's going to be really tight between the Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Pittsburgh is going to take it because they want it more. Nobody wants to win more than Brandon Marshall, but the whole team's got to think the same way he does. Ben Roethlisberger is going to lead this team to the playoffs. Alright, that's all I've got for today. Go ahead and like, subscribe. If you didn't like it anyway. If you don't want to subscribe anyway, and then like it again. And again, I'm a guy talking. You were here to listen. Thanks for listening. Catch me on the flip side.